We got Bjarselinov one, and then Mekmek Unal one. Just waiting to hear back on the Chris Guerrero fight, and we'll see. It's on a commercial break. It's on YouTube right now, live, guys. So wherever you're tuning in, I say welcome. These are live fights right now from Canada, and the main event's going down. Guerrero's a good prospect. I think he's 14-0. Wherever you're tuning in, I say welcome. Like this video, and let me know if you guys followed my the Moneyline Parlay bet slip, because we have 20 legs. 3 of them have already taken place. Yes, 3 out of 5 parlay hit. Rest of my legs are on tomorrow. All right, go. Did Guerrero already fight? Because my what's up, Sed? Sed Walcott in the house. Goats in the house. You boys are beasts. I know we won the first 2. I'm trying to find that Guerrero fight. I got the stream on, but we'll see if it's just a shit stream. It hasn't updated yet. Guerrero's a a fun prospect, undefeated. He's $1.06. So yeah, if you guys, what's up, Fast Car? You know, just checking in on that Montreal Canada card. I also put up some other parlays in the post section. I wanted to ask you guys about it. Some knockdown over and unders. I think they called it off. Swindle. So which side? Is that a called it off as it started and the fight got stopped? Yeah, I don't see him on BoxRec, but he's on the internet, though. Like, if you Google Guerrero versus Herrera, you could find it. And if you type in Guerrero, Christopher Guerrero Boxing Live, there's a live stream for it, for the whole card. Did any of you guys watch the fights live from Canada? Oh, it's not happening anymore. Okay, so maybe that'll just void. All right, then, if that's the case, we could talk about Guerrero finishing with an uppercut. Okay, so it did happen. De Los Santos by decision. Basco, I don't agree with you. I think Edwin, I think Keyshawn wins that fight. Yeah, I think he loses to Keyshawn. And we already talked about it. If you're torn between Keyshawn and Edwin, I would look more about a knockdown parlay, a knockdown prop, which I'm taking. On a separate parlay, guys. It adds up to about 3-1. You take, will there be a knockdown in the Fabio Wardley fight? Will there be a knockdown in the Nakatani fight? Will there be one knockdown in the De Los Santos fight? All 3 on one ticket. I like that one. I'm rolling with that one. All right, guys. Yeah, I don't see it. I guess that fight's not happening. Somebody said that he won. Yeah, John, Edwin won by knock. Edwin by knockout is a better bet, but I got Keyshawn. Edwin by decision is a donation. Yeah, you know, whenever we have these close fights, guys, when we're kind of torn, you know, not saying it's a 50-50, what I always do, and what if Keyshawn gets knocked out? What's the numbers on that? Well, I don't know if Keyshawn gets knocked out. I'm not going to take that bet. I'm putting somebody to go to the canvas, though. I think somebody's going to go to the canvas, and that way you don't have to pick a winner if that's what you don't want to do. Because if you're a Keyshawn fan and you're cheering for a money line, he's only paying $1.13. I don't see him losing to Edwin De Los Santos. I really don't. It's hard for me to visualize him getting knocked out. Because you guys, like, with fighters that you either cheer for or against, you have to ask yourself when you're betting money, can I see said fighter on the canvas? Can I see him getting knocked out? I don't see Keyshawn getting knocked out. It's kind of like how, you know, I bet on Terrence Crawford his whole career. It's, you know, I made a lot of money on Crawford in his career for this exact reasoning. Edwin by knockout. I just don't see it, Anonymous. I don't see him being able to do it. That's just me. Keyshawn's sharper. I think Keyshawn's quicker. People are giving Edwin the power advantage. I don't even know if I agree with that. Just doing anytime knockdown. That's what I'm talking about. Anytime knockdown, guys, is the way to go. So you don't have to roll the dice. Now, if you got $5, $10 you're gambling with and you're trying to get rich, then do whatever you want to do. But if you're trying to win a bet with, you know, some reasoning behind it, listen to said, you know, Keyshawn by decision. I see that happening. If he does knock, how much will 100 pay back? Javi, you got to go to your own betting app because my odds are different. I'll check for you. If we'll pull that up real quick. So the book I use down here in Australia is Sportsbet. And here's the money. What's good? What's up, King Ty? Keyshawn See, Keyshawn to win by knockout is only $2.80. Edwin to win by knockout is $9.75. So if you guys think Edwin is going to win by knockout, it's almost a 9-1. $100 will get you your money back plus 875. I don't think Edwin is going to win. I don't think either. But yes, sir, I like the knockdown prop. There we go. Fast car. I see you in other streams. You know what you're talking about. Keyshawn by decision, Nakatani by Key, and Wardley by knockout. Key will be more aggressive than Shakur. I think so. I don't see Wardley. I mean, I'm torn on the Wardley fight. I think you guys are going to be surprised with how good of a boxer Hooney is. Hooney's legit, mate. Hooney has all the skills to be a world champion. He's, he doesn't. Neither guy has a storied pro career. Kevin Lorena is better than you guys think. What's Wardley's best win? Fraser Clark, Nakatani by knockout. How many rounds do you think the Wardley fight will go? I think Hooney beats Wardley. If you have a prop, I think that fight goes over 6. I think Hooney's best bet is winning by decision, but I don't know, man. Wardley's tough as nails. We saw what happened to him in the first fight when he fought Fraser Clark when he drew. His nose got mangled. He was getting hit with everything. He was getting hit with that uppercut over and over, and he went the distance. So he's tough as nails. Clark or Adelaide? Yeah, I agree. I agree, Goat. So all week, people have been trying to do boxing mats when they're trying to see who's going to win, Fabio or Hooney. And, neither guy's resume is going to jump off of the paper. And when we have a fight matchup like that, I then got to ask, all right, you have Wardley, who has good power, somewhat, decent power, good power, one-punch power. He was a recruiter at 21. He was in recruitment. He was wearing a suit in England working as a recruiter. He cut his teeth doing the, they call it blue-collar fights. So where the corporate finance people set up fights, there's an organization, you train for a couple weeks, you have a couple, I think they're 2-minute 4-rounders, maybe 1-minute 4-rounders. And then he started being the sparring partner for some of the heavyweights in the UK. So no amateur career. You look at Hooney, that dude grew up in the gym, storied amateur career, Olympian. Hooney can box, has good feet, knows the ring really well, uses the ring really well, could win on, wins a lot of rounds. You've seen, I think people see what Wardley looks like at his best when he knocked out Clark, and then people who are leaning that side are going to look what Hooney got rocked when he got rattled in, I think, the last round, or maybe the 11th, against Lorena. And then that sparring footage where he got rattled. But, I mean, it's boxing. People get clipped. You get hit over the ear, your equilibrium goes. That doesn't mean you're chinny. He's never lost. He never, got knocked out. I think that I'm going to side. I'm comfortable with Hooney winning that fight. Joshua, I think the Lemish fight proved Keyshawn is legit. So do I. But this is definitely his toughest test. Will prove he's legit. How much of a shot you give Hooney? I think Hooney beats him, Teach. I think Hooney's a live dog. Right now he's an underdog. Not quite. I think he's like maybe close to 2-1 dog. I think a lot of those odds makers just haven't seen him fight before. I've watched every one of his fights. I've watched him fight live. What's up, man? Finally joined live for the first time. Nathan Ibarra, appreciate you being able to join this. It's my second live today, guys. Like this video wherever you're tuning in. Let's keep the questions going. We got our long parlay. We're live. 200 on Keyshawn by knockout. Nathan, and the odds aren't even that good. You're not even getting. Yeah, you're getting 2-1 money. 100 on Keyshawn by knockout gets you your money back plus 180, so almost 2-1. So if that's the way you want to roll, I could see him stopping him. Clark was outboxing Wardley and giving him a lot of problems in the first fight. Hooney, yeah, exactly. And Hooney's a better boxer than Clark. Hooney by split, jab the like button. Mar the Machine in the house. Appreciate you. Thoughts on Brandon Moore versus Stanley Wright? I like that fight. I'm taking Brandon Moore. That's going to be tough. I think that fight's going to be on DAZN, Hannah History Vault. And I think that's going to be a competitive fight as well. That's the one going down. There's so many fight cards, guys. You got the Pro Box card. You got multiple cards in the UK. Callum Simpson, that fight card's flying under the radar. You got the Joshua Kelly card nobody's talking about. I covered on the channel. You got the card in Montreal that just took place. You got the Tokyo card with Nakatani. There's some good fights on there. You got the card in Queensland in Australia with Jaya Pataya. So there's a lot of boxing, guys. There's a lot of money to be made. I think what sometimes I could be a victim of is, getting too greedy in all the fight options and then maybe not being as patient. If you're patient better and you got a nice little coin, you could definitely pick and choose and find some locks. you can find there's definitely some gimmies out there this week. I see it go into the cards. Wright can win, but I think Moore beats him as well. History. I just think he does better work. Carlos, I appreciate you. Josh Heath, GOAT for sure, but this will be Keyshawn's hardest fight because Baranchik was just easy work. Baranchik was a world champion, though, man. I know he wasn't at his best. Baranchik, got stopped. Have you seen Troy's rival? He beat Garcia. People were talking about that Troy Isley fight. And some people like the underdog in that fight. Look, Isley's fighting, Etundi William. And the thing about this fight, 16-1, Isley's 14-0. Etundi Williams, 16-1, 12 knockouts, has good pop. He's coming off that loss to Borrego. Who's his best win? Yeah, he beat Chino by split. But you ask Chino fans, they're gonna say that fight could have gone the other way. Endry Saavedra, he has a victory over him. That was three years ago. It's gonna be a good fight. I mean, Isley is the huge favorite, bro. Baranchik he looked old. Baranchik, I'm not saying that wasn't Baranchik's the best version of him, but all a fighter could do is beat who they put in front of you. And at the time, guys, Baranchik was a world champion. Not every prospect or contender steps up and looks good. Keyshawn did that. So I think it would be ill-advised to judge a world champion on their opposition when they won, especially the way he won. Now, Edwin De Los Santos, on the other hand, when De Los Santos stepped up and had an opportunity to become a world champion, he couldn't punch Shakur. He couldn't land one punch. So I don't want to hear that Shakur ran the whole time because the way I see it, Shakur won the fight and Edwin couldn't cut the ring off and he couldn't land a punch. That's the way I see it. Navarrete was arguably robbed against Baranchik. Maybe. I'd have to rewatch it with a closer eye. And I'm a huge Navarrete fan. I thought Navarrete got a gift, though, against Liam Wilson. That was a 30 count. Go back to the Liam Wilson fight. Liam starched Navarrete early, I think in the second round. And Liam's an Aussie boy. We know about Liam's lead hook. Catches Navarrete, and the ref counted to it was a legit 22 count. I did a breakdown on that video. And then psychologically, when you're Liam Wilson, you knock a guy out, you become a world champion, and they don't give it to you. He was never able to recover, and then Navarrete stopped Wilson, I think in the 7th, 8th, or 9th. Don't quote me on that. Shakur did win that fight clearly against De Los Santos, but Keyshawn, yes, Joshua, and I think Joshua, Navarrete, Baranchik, the worst title fight of all time. There's been some dud title fights, though, guys. I mean, Navarrete versus Baranchik, Keyshawn, or Shakur versus, obviously, De Los Santos. There's something you guys just asked I want to get to. Keyshawn. Keyshawn isn't the guy you want to fight after 100%. Yeah, I watched the Keyshawn Mason. Abdullah's still young. Abdullah's not a finished product. I think Keyshawn's bid physical. He is. Exchanges. Yeah, Keyshawn's going to impress people. I lost money on that damn fight. I can see Keyshawn becoming a champ at 40 and maybe even 47. He's only 26. He wins a couple more at 35 like he wants to. He can move up to 40. 47 isn't stacked. You know what I'm saying? He has a good frame. I think 40, he would do good at 40 as well when you look at some of the champs there. Keyshawn versus Puello. There's a lot of good fights to be made. Everyone loves to give Shakur stick for the De Los Santos performance, but he had a broken hand. Yep. And he won the fight, Josh. He won the fight. De Los Santos couldn't punch him. I don't understand how De Los Santos' stock doesn't raise in that fight. He hasn't fought since that fight. Your stock doesn't raise in a fight where you couldn't land a punch because the other dude outskilled you and outmaneuvered you. It's not like Shakur was holding up a wall and blocking him or pressing a button to put some cheat code in. The De Los Santos' offense was neutralized. It was neutralized because Shakur neutralized it with his skill set. It's boxing. If Edwin stops Keyshawn, same. I wouldn't be shocked if he stops him. I disagree. I won't be shocked if Edwin stops him. Edwin's a good boxer. Edwin has pop in his hands. But somebody brought it up earlier. Fighting Keyshawn Davis, this version of Keyshawn, with 18-month layoff, with coming off a loss, he ducked all of it today. He's a young kid, man, gold member. I think he was caught off guard. Abdullah's a good kid. Abdullah is a good guy. I think he's gonna be a world champion. And Keyshawn, guys, Keyshawn's at that level. Keyshawn's a world champion. He ain't letting anything slide. Keyshawn called him on it. Edwin isn't confident. Yeah, man, rumors are Edwin had to have a little surgery on the shoulder. I've been watching him too. Even when he was hitting pads, Edwin was doing his shadow work. There's things that you can see. Abdullah was caught off guard, but hell, he did. I'm a huge Abdullah Mason fan. Big fan of Abdullah Mason. He's really fun to watch. He's young. He's going to learn. He's going to learn from that experience. He's not ready for Keyshawn, though. Santos is too flat-footed. Exactly. And we got to understand the camp Keyshawn comes from. He's only 21. Yeah. Nobody's talking about it. It's, on this channel, you guys know, we like getting into the minutia of our breakdowns. I think Hooney's boxing IQ went the same. He does have the power. But did you see how thick Hooney is? Hooney's head is like this. And his neck is like this. Hooney's a big dude, man. It's hard to tell just by their stare downs, but Hooney is built. He's just built different. Abdullah was like, Keyshawn was like, even Master P was like, nah. I'm the colonel of this motherfucker. Damn, we're talking about No Limit again. I got Hooney. Mason knows you don't make fights on stage. Yeah, Mason's too young. He needs a couple more. Mason is not a finished product yet. He's not. Keyshawn isn't either, but Keyshawn's obviously at the world-class level. It'd be unfair. I'd be upset to see that fight made even in the next 2 years. Give Mason time. Don't rush him. You can't rush him. These fights, these fights right now where Abdullah is at, even though the rankings are trying to rush him, the BoxRec algorithm has Mason in the top 15. I know, it's not. And Mason, everything, he's raised in a family setting. Like, he lives in the gym. His brother's box. His dad, we know the story. Northeast Ohio kid from Cleveland, Ohio. He's not, he's in the gym. And I don't think he was expecting that. It was the Ring magazine that put them there. They had them there as like ambassadors for the Ring. Keyshawn was trying to lock that Abdullah fight. Yeah, and look, if you want, from Keyshawn's perspective, you want to catch Abdullah now. Man, I grew up listening to Master P and No Limit said, come on now. Silk the Shocker, Mystical, Ghetto D, Ice Cream Man. Come on, this is my era. I'm an old head. I think De Los Santos showed his boxing ability against Adorno. People like that Adorno fight. It was a couple years ago, though. Silk the Shocker. People clown Silk for his offbeat rapping, but that growing up, man, it was a group of us. Just a group of 5. Now 3 dead, 1 in jail. Dude, I used to know every word to all that Silk stuff. Silk was the most offbeat kind of like, I liked his rap flow, but these young bucks try to hate on him. But we all got down to Silk. Yeah, he had his own little style. I miss my homies. Bourbons and Cadillacs. Bourbons and Lax was a nonstop banger in my locker room growing up. That's what rappers do now. I'm going to back Keyshawn. This is for the Bourbons and the Cadillacs with them 10s. Come on now. I got Edwin, not an easy fight. Not an easy fight. He was my favorite. Mo Price in the house. Guys, I grew up in Youngstown, Ohio, man. I'm 43. So I live, growing up playing football, baseball, basketball, boxes. Started as a 7-year-old boxing. This is what I grew up to with. What you know about Not Here? Not Here Albright R&B album, though. I didn't know he was an artist. Ghetto D, one of my favorite albums of all time. Not Here Albright's a recording artist. I didn't know that. Salute. I do have to tell you, Bone Thugs, think about back in the day when there's 89 Little Brother. Dude, East 1999 Eternal, one of the best albums. But Albright fought his career at 35. Calvin fought his career at 47. They're fighting at 40. I know a lot of people think that Albright is going to win that. He is a solid boxer. I'm not hating on him. I think that Calvin's going to be big, though. You know what I'm saying? Albright's a singer. I'll check him out. Wu, greatest of all time. Yeah, we had a sector. We had a section of Wu-Tang from Columbus called the Killer Army. Killer Army was in Wu-Tang for a while. They're from Columbus, Ohio. It's the last Armageddon. Prepare you for the 6-man wetting. Davis versus Trey Songz Saturday night. Yo, best cut of that 815. Guys, wherever you are, like this video. We got active parlays going. We got that Montreal card that just wrapped up. We got, if you follow bosses when you drop in your mic parlay. I already dropped it. Pull up. It's in the post. We got a 20 leg working. I gave you guys 4 parlays. I gave you guys a knockdown parlay. Killer Army. Yeah, you're just sliding counter, man. I knew it wasn't just boxing, guys. Boxing. When I came to New York from Puerto Rico, my uncle showed the Bone Thugs Harmony music video, MT 96. Yeah, Bone Thugs when I hear Ohio. That's my big, and this is kind of a hot issue. My most saddest bit of modern day rap is when MGK stopped doing mixtapes. Because, look, MGK had all the street credit East Cleveland coming up. Bone backed him. Check out MGK's mixtapes when he would do, Cinderella, dude. He did Till I Die, and now look what MGK's turned into. He does like white Disney pop punk. That is the worst example of somebody switching codes in the history of music, in my opinion. Trick Daddy loves them kids. Miami with Trick Daddy. Trick loves them kids, mate. But we can't talk hip hop. We're not talking about Mike Jones. Come on now, Swisher House. Dude, when Mike Jones dropped, everybody was banging that. He put Texas hip hop. You see that uppercut? Yeah. Are we talking about Kyle? Are you talking about the Chris Guerrero uppercut? Did you see how much bigger Key is than Edwin? Key's a big boy. Uppercut, P Diddy. It wasn't me. Yo, I got Key stopping Edwin. Me too. Best. I like it. Keyshawn's a dude. I would be shocked if Keyshawn's big and he has that championship sort of swag now. It's his division now in his head. Albert Ramirez. Okay, I had him on a parlay, but they stopped letting us bet on him. He was a huge favorite. Kelvin winning versus Albright. Keon stopping his opponent. I can see that happen. I don't see any of the Davis brothers losing in Norfolk, guys. You know, those cards are put together with some home cooking as well. But, you know, they all got some, the other brothers have some talent. Fought tonight. Yeah. So maybe it was canceled. Some people were telling me he won MGK. But nah, man. James, you're tripping. You don't know about 2007 MGK. You don't know about, that's why you're looking at me, James. You don't know about 2007 MGK. You got to download Till I Die. Bitch up from the land till I die. Bumping that Bone Thugs till I die. Dude, that's what Stipe Miocic used to walk out to. YouTube, the video to Till I Die is MGK in East Cleveland with the Riders. It's one of the most thugged out videos you'll see on YouTube. To see Kelly went from that to where he is now is, I blame it on Eminem. I blame it on Eminem shitting on him. He made him turn, yeah, anyway. At one time, MGK, man, he had a lot of street cred in the hip hop. His mixtapes were off the hook, dude. His verses, his spitting was off the hook. Predictions for Apatai. Apatai beat Squayo in 4 rounds. Why is no one talking about Murad Aliev? Zaya, very interesting fight. I'm picking Aliev. Oh, Aliev? Are you talking about Aliev? Why did the press conference sound like more like family therapy? It's crazy. Yes, you're right, Ethan Theodore. The press conference. Are we talking about? Are we? Rasheen Aliev? There's a lot of fights going on, guys. I don't think people were talking about the Nakatani fight enough versus Yusuke Nishida. That 20 leg doesn't mention. Yeah, pull up, boy. I left because I left Wardley and Hooney off for a side parlay. You know, I predicted Hooney to win, but I like that fight better because of the odds that there'll be a knockdown. It is going to be a busy weekend, guys. So if you go look at the other tickets, I picked there to be a knockdown in the Wardley-Hooney fight. The odds are pretty good too. But I see Hooney. Did you bet on Moore and Stanley? Let me pull that up, guys. I'll read it to you. You know what? If you're catching this live, let me read you the 20. Okay, Beerslanov won. Uno won. I've been told Chris Guerrero fights got canceled. Bryce Mills, DeVell Smith, Price Taylor, Franchon DeZern, Antonio Perez, Joe Hicks, Josh Pagan, Red Johnson, Frankie Stringer, Mike Perez, Reese Edwards, Mark Jeffers, Callum Simpson, Emiliano Moreno, Angeletti, Paldo, and Isley. That's one. No, I didn't bet on Brandon Moore yet. Yeah, Uno looked good. I thought Uno would look good. He had a nice little career in kickboxing. They got the over and under 2.5 for the Apataya. What you think? Somebody else asked me about that 2.5. That's why they put odds on it. I think maybe it'll take Jai. I could see it ending within the first 4, but 2.5. They're expecting Squeal to just get starched. I could see it happening. I would love to ask Hooney. Oh, James, mate. Now that's sprinkling on the lines of, you know, Google and research where Justice is from, man. That lineage. Those are all big boys. That dude. His appendages, if ever you meet Justice Hooney, his wrist, and I'm not like a tiny dude, but I'm not a big dude. I'm 5'11". I walk around like sometimes at 185 pounds. This dude is his wrists, from elbow to wrist is like this. It's ridiculous. Caballel, did you hear what Teddy Atlas said about Hooney? Teddy Atlas must be getting into the gambling business because he posted his bet. I think he bet 1,000 on Hooney to win. Yeah, they're like tree trunks, dude, and his neck is like this, everything about him. And then the thing about Hooney, when you watch his movement, he doesn't look as big as he is. Yeah, 1,000 on Hooney moneyline. I'm rolling with that bet. They got Stanley right at +260, and he's way better than. then Ethan, roll with that. I'm not seeing the Brandon Moore. I'm not even getting that fight on my book. If you think Moore beats Wright, or if you think Wright beats Moore and Wright's the underdog, take that money. And then we'll revisit it later. No, what do you guys think about Justin Paldo? Paldo's headline, I think he's headlining that Pro Box card. Okay, yeah, it's the Hall of Fame card. So it's in Canosta. I thought I had that card pulled up. I didn't see him on here. Josh Kelly, Callum Simpson, Angeletti. Oh, okay, now I see it. Is he still on there? No, Paldo's on the Pro Box card in Texas. Angeletti's on Pro Box as well. Everyone's making you nervous about that prediction. Use DraftKings. Best out there. I'm in Australia, so I use Sportsbet. But I know a lot of the boys use Terramona is like $1 guys. He's gonna win by knockout. If you could get Terramona by stoppage, he's gonna win by knockout. Stand firm, Goat said, my man. Stand firm. People talking about Uni. How sure are you Perez Ward? Is that pretty much a lock? Mo Price, we know the game. There's no such thing as locks. There's no such thing as locks. I'm taking Perez, though. I'm taking Perez. We all look good afterwards, and then we look bad when we're wrong. Caleb Plant. I'll tell you, I hold such grudges. Dude, yeah, there are no locks. But I like Perez in that fight. I think I got him at $1.16. Pacers back on. See you, Crumb. He loves the Pacers. Hooney should be a football player. Once you place the bet, you can't erase it. Said. Also, as bettors, guys, we like to think some of our mental acuity goes into the outcome, right? We focus on it. We put our money on it. We reason with it. We do our due diligence. All of that, part of us winning is believing that it's going to win. So go, like said, stand firm, baby. Even if you're taking, I know you're taking Fabio, I think. I think all week you've been preaching Fabio. I'm just, yeah. I've seen too much of Hooney to think that he's going to go to the UK and get starched. That dude's a very proud, they're all proudful guys. I'm with Goat here. AJ, Hooney's high guard worries me. What's everyone's thoughts on Isley? Yeah, I'm taking Isley to win, Robert. I think Troy's on my parlay. I think he beats Atundi. I think the odds are crazy, though, so a lot of people are falling in love with those odds. I think it's a trap, though. I think Isley wins that. I don't think, I think it's convincing. If anything, there's a lot of money to be made on some of the more closer 50-50. I don't think Fabio will win because he didn't make a song about Hooney. I don't know. Yeah, I got fouled by devastating. No, I can see it happening. You can see, because a lot of the analysts are saying when Kevin Lorena hurt Hooney, Lorena let him off the hook, but Wardley isn't that guy. And so if Wardley hurts Hooney, he's going to, end it. And if that's your reasoning, live with it. I just don't think that getting wobbled because a punch hits you above your ear, equilibrium, I think that's a bit different than like a total amount of damage and wearing you down and the damage is stopping you. I don't think so. I don't see that happening. I think that even if Hooney does get hurt, I think he recovers. Earlier, I was thinking about Jarrell Miller crashing out because of that rap song. That's what I thought. I thought you were referencing Jarrell Miller. What happened? There's rumors floating around. Did you guys hear what Anthony Joshua said this week during fight week? He's saying that he thinks Miller is on the gear again. He said that it's a known thing that he wouldn't pass a drug test. So that's why he pulled out. Because, guys, we know Fabio was supposed to fight Miller. And, Hooney only put his hand up, a month ago maybe? Maybe even less than that. So we'll see. I know the boxing world isn't people in the UK wanted to see Miller, but the fight fans, no, Hooney doesn't recover. You see him at Riyadh. Yeah, but that was the end of the fight. He won the fight, though. That's the fight I'm talking about. He didn't get knocked out. He didn't get stopped. He recovered enough to win the fight. I've been flip-flopping Nakatani. No way. Hand history fault. Nakatani stops Nishida. No way. Nishida, 10-0, 2 stoppages. He took years off from his boxing career to be a chef. He went pro in 2019. Nakatani, Rudy Hernandez's guy. Nakatani is a top pound-for-pound fighter. That is a lock in my opinion. Of all the fights, Nakatani is that dude. He's a beast. He fights great at range. He fights great at the pocket. He could use his jab, but he'll also exchange with you. His timing is on point. His punch selection is on point. If I got him, I think he stops Nishida. Thanks, bro. Swindle. Yeah, I'm high. I think of all, I put Nakatani up there in terms of like who I look at pound for pound fighters. You know, not named some of the bigger names. You know, I put Bam in my top 10. I put Nakatani in my top 10. A lot of people want to see Bam go from 15 to 18. I hope Bam stays at 15. We want to see Nakatani and Inoue at 122. But yeah, look at the champions. Also Takai. Takai, we covered Takai on the channel. He's another champion at 118 pounds. The Japanese guys have that division on lock. I don't see a path to victory for Nishida against Nakatani. That's the one I would be totally shocked at. Just considering where they come over 6.5 tension by decision. Yeah, tension's so skilled. I don't see him stopping his opponent. I can see Nakatani over 6.5. Check the odds on that, but also check a knockdown at. If you're getting Nakatani over 6.5 with similar odds of there being a knockdown, I would side with the knockdown prop bet only because I'll just flip a coin. Fight goes to this Nakatani by stoppage. Yeah, when you look Nakatani 4 fights in a row by stoppage, 24 out of 30, I think his knockout to win ratio is somewhere around 78%, and just how he moves in there and his game planning. And like I said, I love him. Rudy got him at 15 years old. So he's not one of these Japanese fighters who are trained methodically in the Japanese style in Japan. He trains at LA Boxing Club in East LA. He lives in Japan. Let's get it, putting 300 on Huni. Raphael, get it. You gotta live with that. I love that pick though. I really like that pick. Guys, we're 32 minutes in. I still got a couple uploads to do. I'm putting a compilation together of all the fights. It's 12 p.m. my Friday. Speaking the Japanese, Jin Sasaki and Norman. Dude, Kai, I love that fight. Sasaki could crack. Brian Norman Jr. just became a champion. Hats off to Norman Jr. for taking that fight, traveling, blind rank these boxers. Oh, shit. Tank Davis, 5. What up, John? Just got in. What are your locks? Rocky, I posted them. I posted my locks already on our post section. I gave you already 3 different parlays. I'm going to post 2 more. Meech, rocking and rolling. So blind ranking, we got Tank at 5. I'm doing 5 things at once here. Back to Nakatani. I think if you could get odds on the knockdown prop bet, Inoue, 2. So I got Tank at 5, Inoue at 2. Bro forgot the other 4 fighters. He's giving me one at a time as like a blind thing. We just got to remember. I got Tank at 5, Inoue at 2. This is a good game. It's building stress. We'll see what happens. I'm high on Nakatani, though. Alexander Usyk, 4. So I got Tank at 5, Usyk at 4. Oh, Kyle's trying to intervene. Kyle, I'm not commenting to that, mate. You know how I feel about Jake Paul. Laugh, yeah. All right, cool. So we got Tank at 5, Usyk at 4. Who'd we put at 2? We put Inoue at 2. Shit. So I got to put Shakur at 3. So Tank at 5, Usyk at 4, Shakur at 3. You got 1 left, right? Or no, you only... Good options though. At least I didn't get trolled. Who sits on top of my throne? Yeah, I'd put Bud at 1 anyway. I made it, dude. Bud's career, and if you watch who ever since he traveled over to the UK at 135, I've been winning money. I don't know. Shakur at 1, I don't care. Shakur's a beast, dude. I'm a big fan. I don't know. I feel comfortable with Usyk at 4. Butterbean. Terrence Crawford, mate. Dude, people asked me, it wasn't my biggest odds bet, but like one of my most competent bets looking back was Bud stopping Errol. I called that. I predicted that. A lot of you guys were hating on me for it. I was getting trolled so hard. For picking Bud to stop Errol, EJ, and he did. Smith Mills, Taylor Pagan. Yeah, if you want to print those out, 283 from dude, Nathan, I like it. There's a lot of money to be made, guys. If you guys followed my 20-legger, we're already on the board. We got 2 hitting. We got more fights tomorrow. I know, Meech, I know. That was a solid blind rag. Appreciate you, gold member. What do you think of as a lock? Let me give you, guys, if you didn't catch my early live stream, I'm going to give you Muscles lock. Are you releasing? I did. Mar, it's up in the, go to the post section. It's probably 6 posts down. You'll see my knockdown parlay. You'll see a notification for this live. I did a post about Loma's retirement. I did a post about Keyshawn and Pernell Whitaker. Then you'll see my 20 leg. So go down. You'll find it there, guys. But on a phone call this morning with Muscles and Gary from 3D Boxing, we were chatting. I know, Rocky, I'm a huge Loma fan. 37, it's time to go. We knew he was on his way out. How about a 40 and under top 5 and 47 top 5 up? Mo Prince, that's a great question. Let me give you this. Somebody asked for a lock. It's only $1.50. We were chatting about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these fights. And the boys think that these 5 are great to build a long parlay around. Like, it only gets you about $1.50 if you want to take these 5 and then add to it. These are all money lines. Mason, Nakatani, Isley, Antonio Perez, and O'Leary. And everything, Muscles is 100% confident that those 5 are going to win on the money line. For him, if you throw 10 grand on that, you get 4,800 back. But also, if you don't want to go heavy, you could build on that. You could take those 5 and then add something heavier to it. For those 15, it pays 283. I use most of yours. I just get, yeah, good. And then start building from there. Nathan, you know, if it hits 283, whatever you put on, keep it in your account and just wait. Be patient with it. Break it down month to month. Do you think Kelvin getting his dub? I think Kelvin beats Albright, guys. Kelvin's a big guy. That fight's at 140. Albright's fought at 35. Kelvin's coming from 47. Yeah, I think, you know, it's a good matchup for Kelvin. You know, he's not his brother, and he won't be. He's not going to have that sort of explosivity or anything that pops out off the page. But he's a competent boxer. You know, he knows his way around a ring. And I think he's going to use, I think the physicality, also him being home, it being a Davis brother fight card you got to think about that. Not saying that a robbery would be in play. Christian, it's up on my, am I getting trolled? It's up on the channel. So 37 minutes in. Let's I'm gonna start wrapping this up. AJ, you know what time it is. Stay tuned to the channel. I'm gonna post another of the edited videos up here, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go live early. I got a spar tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. in the city, so I'm gonna go live on my channel at 6 a.m., which is gonna be your Friday early evening. So I'll put the notification up, and then we'll continue this chat because we got fights from now until then, and I want everybody to get their money. Yeah, put 200 on, bro. I think they should all win. I like it. Good luck, Meech. Not go to the distance. Listen to Meech. That fight should end up in the stop. Nathan Ibarra, I like your plan of attack. Let's roll it all over. Guys, be good. Stay tuned to the channel. Like this video. Let's get after this.